Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Pepper and Salt Podcast. I'm Gideon Bradley, and I'm here with.
Barrett Gobley.
And let's say we just get right into it. I know you're eager to get into it.
Come on.
That Titans game was absolutely crazy. So I'll let you discuss
Come
those
on,
feelings.
bro. First off, I'll openly admit I was scared. Okay? I was scared, but my team was not scared. There's no one in the world that gave us a chance. Okay? One of the announcers on the game picked the Titans just as a joke because everyone else picked the Rams.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Mike Tirico, for picking the Titans as a joke. But I bet we won't be a joke no more. The Titans absolutely ran the Rams. Can we talk about that?
That was a dominant win, to be honest. I mean, y'all's defense really stepped up. That was something, literally, Kevin Byard is playing
5 turnovers in the
insane.
last 5 games?
Yeah, Kevin Byard is playing. He's playing Defensive Player of the Year good.
Dude, he's killing it.
The
Best safety in the league. I'm saying it right now. I'll put it out there. I mean, come on.
He's definitely one of the best. He's definitely underrated for sure.
Name me a better one.
Yeah,
I guarantee you if he's playing in any big market team, he's on the news all the time.
Yeah. And then, pressure-wise, that D-line looked really good.
Jeff Simmons, 3 sacks. Danico Autry murdering offensive linemen. Dude, it was an absolute rout. Made no sense. They had Stafford seeing ghosts out there, bud.
Yeah, he looked scared.
He looked shook.
Scared.
Fully shook.
Yeah, and it was crazy. That interception he threw when Simmons wrapped him up in the end zone, he threw it. That's like that I saw. I feel like I had deja vu. I saw that play before. That was in the Colts game.
Yeah, you just saw that.
That happens two times in a row with Titans.
It's like we drew it up like that. What the heck?
And I can't remember if I'm right on this. Y'all made that play, y'all scored, and then the very first play, the next thing was that
Kevin Byard interception. So it was literally interception, one or two plays, touchdown, kickoff, first play of the next drive, Byard interception for a touchdown. And the crazy part for me is I couldn't believe that was his first pick 6 ever.
Really?
Byard's got like 30 interceptions and he's never had a pick 6.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
I want to say this. That first interception Tannehill threw to Ramsey, was that kind of where do you think the game was going to go from that point?
I'm not going to lie. I got nervous after the Ramsey interception. However, I knew the Titans were going to probably try to take some risks, right? Because you don't have your running game. You got AP that's literally come off the couch and he's 36. So we know this dude's not going to be coming in here just blowing the doors off anything in this week.
Didn't play bad, though.
He didn't. He played okay, considering literally he just came off the couch like 4 days ago. Yeah. Dante Foreman looked pretty good. He had some decent runs. McNichols had some decent runs. I feel like that running back by committee can work.
Oh, for sure.
And it didn't look great, but you also got to look at the defense you're playing.
Yeah.
The Rams their defense is out of control. And we didn't move the ball overly well against them, but scored when you had to score, right? Got down the red zone, we scored the ball.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Titans were playing like amazing on offense. They were sloppy at points. A.J. Brown didn't have the best of games. He had a couple of drops.
Yes.
But, I'll say it's, usually when you look at the Titans, you look at the stat-wise, they're one of the better offenses in the league with Derrick Henry. And, they didn't look terrible without him. No. And the defense really stepped up.
And I think it's kind of what I thought it was going to be. They're just kind of putting a Band-Aid on it, and I think they're just going to do the best they can with that running game and then just kind of bide their time and try to get in the playoffs, right? So they're still – it's kind of like I said. They just got to steal some games, right? So, at this point, you're leading the AFC. Your defense is, playing lights out against everybody. So, if they can lean on that defense, which the best part about it is how bad it was last year. And my favorite part of the game is watching a bunch of announcers who never watched the Titans talk about how bad that defense was, and then watch that defense absolutely roll the Rams. None of them knew any of the players on the defense. They had no idea what they were talking about. And then afterwards, all they can talk about is the defense. Yeah, that's what we were trying to tell you. There's something going on in Tennessee. I'm telling you right now.
Do you think the Titans deserve the respect now? because people were disrespecting them, saying, I mean, Tannehill's their team. I'm not Tannehill. Derrick Henry is their team, and with him going down, Titans you're not gonna see the same success. And then they go out and beat one of the better teams in the NFC, one of the top 3 teams in the NFC. They go out there and they punch in the mouth.
What I'm gonna say is I'm excited for the disrespect because I feel like it puts a chip on their shoulder, right? They play with that chip all the time, right? Because we're in Tennessee. Nobody watches us. Nobody knows about the Titans. And when Derrick Henry went down, literally every single sports commentator on the earth said, it's over. They're done. Pack it up. And then they roll out there and absolutely destroy the Rams. I felt like as the game of the week, I felt like it was absolutely a statement win. That's to show the league right there. Put them on notice. Like, you're not going to you may beat the Titans, but it is not going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
They got every level of that defense playing. They got defensive backs nobody's ever heard of. Jackson's absolutely killing it, and they picked that dude up off the street. So
the Titans are really good depth-wise. I mean, they have a lot of people go down, and they seem to be able to replace them and be able to hang on with the players that they have. I will say, I mean, Titans look good. I mean, the best record in the AFC. I mean, they're sitting pretty good, not only in the AFC but in their division.
Yep.
I mean, the Colts, they look good, but then they kind of struggle at the end with the Jets. And then Jacksonville, I would say a fluke win over the Bills. I mean, I don't know whether you say that. And then the Texans. So Titans look good, and I would say it's exciting time to be a Titans fan. I would say that.
I'm telling you. There's been some rough years. There's been some rough years around here. But I was so excited, man. I couldn't even hardly contain it. It was like watching Jeff just continuously say, when he walked that offensive lineman back into Stafford and then got the sack. That was one of the most dominant pass rushes I've ever seen in my life. Them dudes, Danico and Jeff in the middle, that's tough sledding
Danico
right
had
there.
a good game.
That's tough sledding, man. I'm telling you, that D-line, the pressure they're putting with the front four, it's going to be hard for anybody to combat that. I mean, because they've been doing it against mobile quarterbacks too. They've been doing it against everybody. And that's why I'm like, watch out. I'm just telling you right now, watch out, dude, because they're showing the league they're legit and that they have depth and that they are poised to make a run, in my opinion. Because, I mean, the AFC, first off, is fully up for grabs.
Oh, for sure.
There's no dominant team. I mean, the Titans are showing me they're the dominant team right now, and that's with a bunch of people you never heard of. They had a crazy stat. They beat 6 playoff teams from last year.
That's great. That's wow.
Insane.
Yeah.
And their last 4, look at who they've played and dominated. You got the Chiefs. You got the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Rams. They're killing people.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at, the Titans, I feel like one of the teams I feel like would give them problems and kind of has given them problems in the past is that Lamar Jackson's Ravens team. Is that a team that you think can be the Titans? Or is that a team that you think is standing in the Titans' way?
I would say that's the team I would be most worried about.
Yeah.
Now, Titans, you got it's 1-1, right? 2019 destroyed the Ravens, knocked them out of the playoffs when everybody said the Titans did not have a chance. It's a running theme. If you're a Titans fan, it's all we hear. We never have a chance against anyone. But then come 2020, we get booted out of the first round by Lamar, right? So I feel like that rivalry's coming back. I feel like we're going to see each other a lot in the playoffs. But I feel like the key is Vrabel. The dude comes with a game plan, and these guys literally execute it to a T. They do such a good job of coming with that game plan, and they don't falter from it. Like, they come out, and if they don't have success at the beginning, they don't quit on it. They just keep trucking, right? When it comes to the run, when it comes to whatever the game plan is, in this game it was rush your front four, drop in, and cover on the back end. And they covered Cooper Kupp.
Just about to say that.
They were all over him, dude.
He didn't like the type of wide receiver that he was the past couple weeks. I mean, the Titans, they really like shut down that Rams offense to a T. I mean, they did everything they needed to do with backups. So I say, the Titans look good. Titans look like the team to beat in the AFC.
They look legit until somebody comes in there and beats them. and beats them handily, I mean, they're the best team in the AFC. Ravens are a close second, although the Ravens seem to be talk about that. They seem to be in very close games lately, winning a ton of overtime games, kind of like the Titans were a few years ago. But yeah, I'm gonna say Titans top of the AFC, man, and probably definitely I would say contenders for best team in the AFC, especially after this weekend. We're gonna talk about some of that. But your Seahawks, man, I know they were in a bye week, but
thank God I can't take much more.
But I know a big tweet came out.
Yeah,
Russ is cooking again.
Russ is back.
I
mean, I'm happy, but I mean, we'll start with Russell getting back. Russell being back, I mean, is exciting. You look at our schedule; it's a tough schedule. The first 2 games he's coming back are the Packers and the Cardinals. I think the Packers, it's not as an impressive team as they would have been if this was 2 weeks ago with Rodgers. If Rodgers can play, that means he hasn't practiced. So he's coming in unpracticed. I feel like we have a better chance to beat the Packers than we would have if he was playing and practicing all the time. So, I mean, but Russell Wilson's also going back against a really good defense in the Packers. So, I'm excited that he's back. I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad that he still has a drive. He went to every single game. I'm glad he still likes being a part of the Seahawks. And I mean, I hope we win, but I wouldn't bet on us winning.
Dude, he powered back from that finger surgery, and he's back in what, 3 weeks or something?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Crazy, man. I was excited to see that too, man. Like, I feel like the game's better with players like that.
For sure.
I mean, and I don't want anybody to. I feel like if you always want to see a full squad with all the starters, right? That's what makes the NFL exciting. You want everybody to be on the same page, same level, and that's where you see those good games and the good competition in there. But let's get on it. OBJ.
See, I'll say this about OBJ.
A lot of rumblings.
I'll say this about OBJ, and I say this to anyone that asks me. You don't need him. I mean, I like OBJ. I mean, when OBJ was with the Giants, I mean, that was some of the best football to watch when he was with the Giants. He was really entertaining, and he was really good.
Yeah.
Then he gets hurt. Then he plays a little bit and gets hurt again. And then he gets traded to the Browns. And that's to the point where we're like, this Brown team is really good. And you look all around, so much talent, and Baker can just not get the ball to Odell. I mean, it seems like it's impossible. And it continues in this season. Literally the first couple weeks, I asked you, is Odell hurt? And you're like, no, he's playing. And I haven't heard his name once. I haven't seen any highlights of OBJ. I haven't seen anything from Odell. So I feel like if he went to Seattle, that'd be a whole different thing. I mean, you have 3 wide receivers that are elite on your team. That'd be amazing, but we don't need that. If Odell was a corner, we're all over that. But
does it come down to a need? Like, dude, you're telling me right now, you in your Seahawks heart of hearts is not like drooling over DK, Lockett, and OBJ lined up in your three wide receiver set?
I am, but I don't think he would be happy there.
If you put Odell on the outside, Lockett in the slot, DK on the other, what the heck?
And I think that would also make Russell Wilson very happy.
Dude.
Now, it comes down to cap space. I mean, how much is Odell going to want? How much?
Dude, here's what I think. I'll tell you, this is my hot take. I think Odell wants to win.
Think he's at that point where he wants to win now?
I think everybody says Odell wants stats, but I think Odell wants to win.
If he wants to win, why did he leave the Browns? I feel like there's a good chance of winning. That division's up in the air.
Because he hated being on the Browns. The Browns' offense was not built for him. Look at their running backs. Do they throw the ball? No.
I mean, that's a running offense, and then you have a good wide receiver in Jarvis Landry. I think that's what they need.
Yeah, you got a good intermediate wide receiver. You got 2 running backs that can absolutely dominate a game.
Well, I mean, 3 now. I mean, 3.
Well, yeah, 3
so
now.
Many.
But that's what I mean. Like, their bread and butter is running the ball, throwing the tight ends, throwing intermediate balls. That ain't OBJ's game, bro.
Yeah.
And OBJ does a lot of playing outside of the scripted play, right? That's what he was so great at in New York. He was awesome at, okay, the play's breaking down. I'm going to break off of my route and adjust, and now you've hit a 50-yard bomb, right? Eli's tagging him up for 50 yards. And the Browns don't run like that. That's just not how they operate.
Is Odell that same player, though? Is he that same player that he was before? I mean, you haven't seen anything. You haven't seen him that much.
That's true, but I'll put it this way. I feel like it's because maybe the opportunity wasn't there.
Yeah.
And no, that's not because his dad decided to post a bunch of stuff on the internet about how Baker wasn't getting him the ball when he was open. Like, dude, find your seat somewhere. Get out of here, man. Quit defending your 20-something-year-old son.
Yeah.
And let him handle his own business. He's a grown man. But, I mean, I guess it worked because he got straight out of Cleveland.
He did. I mean, I'll say this. I would love to see Odell in a Seahawks uniform. I think that makes us one of the best offenses in the league. But
I agree.
I just don't. If I was a Seahawks fan, I wouldn't hold my breath on us getting Odell. I don't see us doing that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man, I think because, he put out a list, or somebody did, had Green Bay, the Chiefs, and the Saints on there.
Yeah.
And for my money, man, Chiefs, dude. If he went to the Chiefs, are you kidding me?
How can they afford him?
But it doesn't matter now because he's off waivers.
Oh, my God.
He can sign for whatever he wants.
Why would he want to go to the Chiefs? They don't look good.
You wouldn't want Patrick Mahomes throwing to you?
And
I bet you money if Odell gets on there and he's half of what he was before, they will look good.
I can just see Patrick Mahomes forcing it to Odell a little too much. I could just picture that right now.
I don't think so. Because I'll tell you why. If I was Odell, I'd say, I can't speak for the man, but what I'm looking at is you got Kelsey, right?
Got Tyreek Hill.
You got Tyreek Hill, and now you put OBJ in that mix. Who you doubling?
Can't double anybody.
Odell's single covered every play. Because I promise you they're not cutting Kelsey and Hill loose.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what they can do.
The opportunity's there. Now, if you want to be the guy, go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
But the only problem in New Orleans is you're playing with a backup quarterback right now.
Yeah.
So.
And I would say, and if you want to win, go to the Packers. Because I feel like Devontae Adams on one side, Odell on the other, Aaron Rodgers throwing you the ball.
Lazard. Dude.
That
receiving.
If I was Odell, that's immediately where I'm going. I don't care what I get paid. I would go there.
I feel the same way.
We'll see what happens with Odell.
I feel like Odell goes to Green Bay, dude. That's going to dramatically change that NFC picture for sure, especially if he's half of what he was. But man, let's get to some of these this weekend in the NFL. I know we keep saying this every week, but this one was crazy.
Yeah, another crazy one, but more than usual.
Let's get to the craziest thing that happened. Neither one of us picked this one. The freaking Bills lost to the Jags, and no one scored any touchdowns. It was like 9-6. I'm score watching this game the whole time, and I'm sitting there going, is this really happening? And you keep waiting for the Bills to start scoring points, right? It's like the first quarter, second quarter, get deep into the third quarter, and you're like, dude, this is still happening.
Are the Bills not that good?
I don't know.
I really can't tell.
I can't tell if they're not good or if they just looked directly past the Jags, like as far past them as they could. Because Josh Allen, not the quarterback, had himself a game, bud. He's no longer the other Josh Allen. He's claimed the title from Josh Allen. He is the Josh Allen. He sacked the dude. He had an interception. He was all over him. Murdering him.
I can't believe the Jaguars. Well, I'm speechless. That was the most crazy. No one picked the Jaguars to win. No one even thought the game was going to be close. When you told me the game, you basically didn't jokingly matter. The Jaguars aren't winning this game. They go out, and they didn't play great, but the Bills played terrible.
The Bills absolutely laid an egg, dude.
So maybe that's a coaching thing.
I don't know if that's coaching or I feel like sometimes previously, I feel like in the early part of his career, Josh Allen did a lot of forcing, right? Like he didn't take what was there. He's trying to hit the home run all the time. And I think a lot of it has to do with what team you're playing. So they're playing the Jags, and they think, man, we're going to come in here and dominate these dudes. We're going to run a bunch of deep routes. We're going to throw it deep all over them. We're going to score a bunch of points. We're going to get out of here. Absolutely not. Jags knew exactly what was happening there. Pass rush dominated. Looked a lot like – it looked similar to how the Titans played them. And I think once that film's up, these other teams are going to have to adjust to how they're playing these high-powered offenses. Because I feel like there's a formula to a lot of these guys, especially the mobile guys like Josh Allen. They like to roll a certain way. They like to play a certain style. And if you can get pressure in their face and get them moving the opposite direction they're comfortable, it throws them off completely. And he was on the run all day. He was getting chased around all over the place. And so I don't know if it's O-line. I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know if they're not making the right adjustments coaching-wise or if it's all on Allen, right? Like, it's hard to tell because when you throw up 6 points against the Jags, obviously something broke down somewhere, bad. So, I mean, I don't know.
When a quarterback has to run he's just running around. I feel like the play was always breaking down, and I can see the Bills coming back from this, but that's an ugly loss, and that would be a loss that I would be very upset with if I was a Bills fan.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't believe it. Their season's not over. They're still towards the top, but they definitely got to look over that shoulder at the Patriots behind them.
Patriots playing good.
That Patriots coming in hot, man. Let's move on to another one, man. The Bengals. Are the Bengals again?
I had high praise for this team, and they look terrible.
They have gotten absolutely destroyed their last 2 games.
They were playing a better team than the Browns, but, they didn't look good. I thought the Bengals were going to win this game.
They gave up over 40 points.
Yeah. A lot of not great throws from Joe Burrow. But Jamar Chase didn't play really good either. So I would say overall the Bengals didn't play good. The Browns stepped up. You see that pick-6. There's a lot of stuff in that Browns-Bengals game. The Cincinnati might be back to where they are because that division is so competitive right now.
Everybody's within one game of each other. It's just like all smashed together. That division is crazy.
They need a confidence win. That's what they need. They need to get a win they need to get another win, and then I can see them playing back to where they were before.
Yeah, they need to get right quick. I know that. But yeah, that was ugly. And let me ask you this, speaking of the Browns, are the Browns better without Odell?
Yes. They just play better without him. I feel like Baker's less distracted without him.
It did. It looked totally like everything was just so much more relaxed.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Everything flowed. You could tell he's just making his reads, making his throws. Everything was working. I know it's not going to be like that every week, but they were flowing on offense.
Well, I feel like they were flowing because they were able to run the ball a lot more than they had to, with Chubb being out for as long as he was. So
Chubb being back's a big deal.
I feel like they finally got back to their offense, and I think Baker can run that offense very well.
For sure. Well, he's got to prove it, man. He's in the contract year, so got to get that money, Baker. You better keep playing, bud. So let's move on. We just keep going to the next most surprising thing because this whole weekend was nothing but insanity. The Cowboys, bro. Are the Cowboys? Are they in trouble?
I was literally out eating, watching this game, and I was. They had Dak back. Could Cooper Rush, man? Could Cooper Rush win this game? Dak didn't look good, but the Cowboys didn't look good. Couldn't run the ball. Diggs is good. Diggs can give you some interception, but he's terrible in coverage.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
He's just not.
Diggs is like a one-trick pony, man. He's great at intercepting balls, but he's not great in coverage.
He's good at jumping the routes, and I feel he's good at staying with the corners. But once the corner gets separation, it's over.
Right.
He doesn't have the speed to gain back.
Right.
So I'll say this about. The only person on the Cowboys defense that looks good is number 11. I can't remember his name, but number 11. He's the only one that's stepping up. Everyone else is not playing really good. This is a game that the Cowboys should have won, and they just didn't step up.
You're talking about Micah.
Yeah, Micah Parsons. Yeah, and Micah Parsons. He's the only one that's stepping up. He's doing everything for that team. Yeah, Cowboys didn't look good. Maybe they're not the best team in the NFC.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, man. To me, that kind of looked like one of those fluky things where the game starts getting away from you, and Dak's just not coming back.
Yeah.
He looked super rusty, and they didn't look like they really operated well in any phase of the game. And so I think that was kind of like, I'm not going to count them out, but definitely it's concerning, especially if you string a couple of games like that together, especially being the Cowboys with the history you have. That's concerning, but I mean, I think it's probably one of those fluky things. It seemed like every 50-50 ball was bouncing the Broncos' way. Every call was bouncing the Broncos' way. It was just kind of one of those games where that momentum gets going and you just can't dig yourself back out of the hole. But I was definitely surprised when they got deep into the fourth quarter and it took them all the way to halfway through the fourth quarter to score up any points.
Yeah.
That was crazy, especially for that offense. But yeah, man. I think another surprising one was the Cardinals, man. The Cardinals played without Kyler Murray,
Without
D-Hop, and without their second wide receiver, right? So I think they were
Kirk,
missing their two top wide receivers and their starting quarterback. Colt McCoy comes in and absolutely runs the 49ers. Murders them.
All the 49ers fans never say that we're the worst team in the division. That's y'all. I mean, y'all just can't. I mean, y'all can't compete with other teams. I mean, they have three of their best players out, and y'all still can't get the job done. The Cardinals look good without their good players, and the defense play good. Their offense, but Colt McCoy play good. So
the scary thing for me is they got depth.
Oh,
if you're able to run somebody like that, because I'm pretty sure they had like a backup running back in there too.
Yeah, maybe
They were. I don't know, man. That was just crazy. They were absolutely lighting the 49ers up with a whole bunch of backups.
I thought the 49ers were going to win that game.
Well, as soon as you see...
Yeah, you look at a paper.
It's over, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Incorrect. It's never over until it's over. And it was over after like the first half because Arizona was absolutely destroying them.
Yeah.
So the next topic, man, we're going to have to move on to the Panthers, man. What's going on?
I mean, not good. Sam Darnold. I mean, I don't know what to say. Not very good.
I think the best thing that could have happened to them, I hate saying this, was that dude got injured. Because they got to come off him as quarterback because he is absolutely destroying that team.
Yeah.
You get McCaffrey back and you still look like trash.
Well, didn't you say that Sam Darnold was finding something in Carolina? Did you say?
I mean, obviously against trash teams only.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What the heck happened?
They look terrible. I mean, McCaffrey looked like, he had to get back into it, but Panthers in general just don't look good. You would think they would look good. Yeah, they're a quarterback away. They're a Watson away.
They for sure because their defense is really good, but because their offense can do nothing except for throw interceptions, it makes their defense not look really good. It's crazy.
Do you think the Panthers should have went after Wentz? You think they look better with Wentz?
Well, I mean, I feel like that may be just like the same trade. Like, it's basically the same thing. Wentz throws untimely interceptions. He's more athletic, I guess. And maybe slightly makes better decisions, but nah, I mean, I don't know. Wentz looks better right now.
Yeah.
But, it always seems like it's against inferior teams.
Yeah,
like they're lighting the Jets up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Jets are on like their third string quarterback by the second drive?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. And on their first drive, Jets drove straight down and scored a touchdown on them.
Yeah.
But
Jets,
I don't know, man. I feel like that's just like which one, who do you want to throw your interceptions? Which one? Yeah. I don't know, man. I wouldn't say Wentz athletically is better, as long as he doesn't break every bone in his body when he starts running, So I don't know, man. I think that's 6 in one hand, half a dozen the other, personally. I'm sure that's going to be a positive take for all you Colts fans out there.
Oh, yeah. They're already coming at you.
Oh, they come every week. I'm ready for it. Bring it on. And the Raiders, man. I already know you were down on them. Okay. But is this because literally their team is just like self-destructing from just the craziest stuff happening ever? Because he just had to cut a dude because he was making death threats at people.
Trying to kill somebody. The
What
Raiders
is going on?
the Raiders are absolute mess. First, you lose your coach. Then you lose one of your promising young wide receivers in a tragic accident. Then you have someone saying to kill somebody. So the Raiders, did they win?
Dude,
well, I mean, they may have won the game, but they're not winning in team.
That's what I mean. Like I feel like they're self-destructing.
Yeah, I mean, like they're getting worse and worse every week.
But that AFC West, man,
they can still. I mean, they should be free. I mean, you got the Chargers, you got the Chiefs. They can still win that division.
Well, yeah, but anybody can win it now.
Yeah, Broncos can win it. So
because it's just like, and no, the Raiders did not win.
They didn't win.
They lost to the Giants.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what I mean. And so they lost. The Chiefs won. The Chargers won. The Broncos won.
Yeah.
Literally every team in there is within a game of each other.
Yeah, I thought they won. They lost. I picked the Giants. They lost. They lost a lot of players on their team. Yeah, if I was a Raiders fan, I'd be quite terrified.
Dude, and like I said, that division's just like wide open. And coming up, we'll come and get to it in our pick'ems, but they got a date coming up with the Chiefs on a Monday night. I'm pretty sure that's a game right there.
Raiders usually got the Chiefs' number though.
Yeah, but when you're missing half your team because they all keep getting kicked off, I mean, what the heck is going on? So, and bro, the AFC North, I know we kind of touched on it, but it's wide open too because you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, you got the Browns, you got the Steelers who won.
I still think the Ravens are going to win that division. I mean, I said Cincinnati at the beginning. I'm watching how Lamar is playing. Lamar is playing so good. Their defense isn't, though. So that's something that I would look out for the Ravens. Steelers are coming into it a little bit.
Yeah, they're starting to wake up a little bit. I mean, that offense is still really anemic. But, I mean, you got a good running back. If Ben can just limit the mistakes, the defense can carry them.
Yeah, Ben just looks slow. I mean,
he's old. He's old. Yeah. And we all know that.
Yeah.
But if he can just not throw interceptions, like he's at that Peyton Manning game manager section of his career where if you just cannot make mistakes, you can win games. And I feel like that division, the Ravens to me, Lamar's a beast. I have zero doubt in that. But also the Ravens seem like they're in so many shootouts and close games that it makes me nervous about those divisional games.
Well, I mean,
right? Because I feel like they're going to drop one eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in shootouts every week, and you're behind like 20 points every game. Lamar cannot keep doing that.
Yeah, there's no way he can do that. I mean, he's winning in those games. I mean, I don't hear him.
Yeah, because what, the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean,
they were down by like 20.
Yeah, and
the dude comes back in the fourth quarter and scores like 1,000,000 points. Rushes for what, like over 100 and...
He had over 100 rushing yards, over 200 passing yards. He had a couple touchdowns through the air. I mean, he's playing so well, but he can't. I mean, it's impossible for a player to play like that every single week. Can't do it.
In the NFL, man, it's not doable. And by the time the playoffs rolling around, if that's literally your offense, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, you're going against way better.
Because that dude's going to be absolutely demolished by the end of the season. So, I mean, come on, man. But I feel like that division is absolutely wide open. I feel like it's going to be a shootout, and I feel like it ain't going to be over till the last week. Because everybody's beating everybody in that division. It's crazy. And just the amount of just underdog wins last week.
A lot.
Come on, man. I don't know. There's very few favored teams won.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you, like, in the NFL, man, it's just so much parity. Like, that's what makes the NFL great. Like, even when you go, everybody says this team's the best team, definitely going to win. You got to show up and play the game. Because I'm going to tell you right now, nobody thought the Jags were going to win. Nobody thought the Titans were going to win. just down the list all the way to the Giants. Nobody thought the Giants were going to beat the Raiders. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's a crazy season. It's going to be interesting to see it down the run.
One of the craziest seasons I've watched in a while.
For sure. Like, it's hard to even pick what's going to happen.
Yeah, these pick'ems are getting harder now because anything can happen.
Dude, like, for us, it was rough. We'll get to that. But let's get to probably one of the more controversial things that happened. So this Bears game, Bears-Steelers, there was a pass rusher no one's ever heard of who gets a sack and literally turns towards the other sideline, I guess. But he's really just celebrating. He does like a karate kick, like throwing down Mortal Kombat moves. And then he stares over at the sideline. And then he's walking back, and the ref like bumps him and then throws a flag for taunting. Mind you, this was 4th down. And literally, the Bears were about to get the ball back and have a chance to go down and win the game.
That game was one of the most fixed games I've ever watched. I mean, that was literally Bears versus the refs.
That was insane.
They had money on the Steelers. So, I mean, and not only that play, some of the hits that Justin Fields was taking that game.
Oh, my God.
Those were calls that Ben was getting and Fields wasn't getting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because he's younger, or I don't know if that's because
he's a running quarterback and they don't seem to get the calls.
But, yeah, I mean, that when he's jogging back to his sideline and the refs purposely sticking out to get hit and you throw a flag on that, that's crazy. That ref should absolutely never call another game in the NFL.
I thought it was insane, too. I couldn't. Man, I watched that thing like 10 times, and I'm like, where is the taunting? And then the NFL doubles down on it and, like, puts up this whole video about why it's taunting. Get out of here, dude. Just, you were wrong. You needed to apologize. You need to move past it.
Yeah.
And all of this taunting bullcrap, it needs to go, man.
It's ruining the game.
Like, I get it if you're in somebody's face and you're, like, smashing them with a football or you're trash talking them and you're in their grill. Like, I get that. Or if you're in their sideline trash talking, I fully understand. That should be penalized every time. But, dude, if you're celebrating, like, come on, man. Like, that's part of the game. I don't understand what the problem is. And that one was bad. And it was like, there was bad calls all weekend. Like, yeah. I'll even say, the Titans, the roughing the passer on Tannehill when he was literally running out of bounds and the dude barely touches him 1 second after he throws the ball, and they called roughing. That was the worst call I've seen in a long time. Like, I'll say that as a fan of that team. That was a terrible call. Now, the one after that where Floyd punches him in the neck, that one was legit. Yeah. I feel like that was probably out of frustration. But the other one was a terrible call. I was sitting there watching. I'm like, that's an awful call. I can't believe they called that, but I'll take it. Give us our 15. We'll go down here and get us a touchdown. But the calls were just all over the place all weekend. And they're having to review stuff that they shouldn't be reviewing. I don't know, man. These officials have been, like, making some major impacts on games. And I don't know how the NFL needs to fix that, but it's terrible for the games. I mean, it's taken away from the game.
Sure.
But, man, let's go. What are we? We're mid-season now, right?
Yeah.
Mid-season. So, what do we think about MVP race now? It's got to be interesting, right? I feel like it's drastically changed from the beginning of the season.
My top two, because it's been changing a lot. I would say the people that are usually in it are Kyler and Matthew Stafford, but Matthew Stafford didn't play too great. Kyler's been hurt a little bit. Tom Brady's been playing really good.
Tom Brady's out of control. I will concur with that.
So I think it's Tom Brady or Lamar right now, and we'll see how Kyler Murray comes back. I'll say it's them three. But I'm leaning towards Lamar. Lamar is doing so much for that team. Dude, he's doing so much for that team.
Lamar is that team. Like, there's no, the dude literally, I saw a crazy stat where they had like 10,000 yards of offense or 8,000 yards. He was accounting for like 88% of their yards or something. That's insane, man. Like, That's absolute insanity.
Well, I mean, Tom Brady's also getting that team playing too. I mean, you look at all that talent, but Tom Brady is getting the ball to that talent. Tom Brady is playing very well for 44 years old.
Yeah, I think he's leading the league in yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's on pace to break how many yards you can throw in a season. I mean, of course, you got the extra game, so you can say on that. But he's also playing really well. But yeah, I would say it's between Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, and Tom Brady. Leaning towards Lamar.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even. So let me ask you this: what about Aaron Rodgers?
Well,
Do you think his time off will affect his candidacy for MVP? You think 2 games would kill you for that?
I think it will, but not because of football. I think it will be because of some of the stuff that he hasn't done that will make it a bad look if he did if he did get that award.
Gotcha.
Kind of like praising a player like that.
So it's political.
Yes, I would say if Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers comes back and balls out and doesn't win it, and he play like he did last year and doesn't win it, then I think that's for another reason besides football.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I thought about that too, and I was like, well, I mean, if Lamar comes out, doesn't miss any games, and continues on the pace he's on, because I mean, he's already breaking records, and we're only halfway through the season.
Yeah,
So
Lamar's
I mean,
just that good.
He's out of control, man. The only thing that worries me about that is the mileage he's
Yeah.
putting on himself, because
He doesn't slide much.
he does. Yeah, he's not great at it, and he does everything humanly possible for his team, and he's literally the only reason they're winning. So, I mean, that's MVP for me. I mean,
Yeah.
now that Derek's out, I can't make that argument anymore. So, it's got to be, for me, Lamar and Brady. And that's tough. That's a tough
Yeah,
that's a tough one for me, because Brady, man, at his age is just, you're right, he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it,
and he's playing better than he did last year, and
which is insane.
But most because he understands the playbook more than he did last year. He had that wacky year. But yeah, Tom Brady's playing really well. That Buccaneers team is playing better. I mean, they lost to the Saints, but I mean, I feel like they're gonna play better. So,
But it's in a shootout.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, Brady's still getting like 3 to 4 touchdowns and 300 to 400
yeah,
yards.
he's getting like three a game, 3 touchdowns a game.
It's ridiculous. But I agree with that. I mean, I'm still not sure about Kyler and Aaron. I'm not sure who like that dark horse might be on the outside kind of looking in. I feel like Stafford, if Stafford can throw some games together and get himself out, I feel like he dug himself a hole against Tennessee.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he can put some games together, put some stats together, and then start throwing some wins together, he puts himself back in that conversation, because he's been killing it out in LA too. So, but yeah, so let's transition over to our picks from last week. So we were even last week, so still a 2-point,
Yeah,
still 2-point cushion for myself. Is 24-26. So we're gonna kind of transition over to this week of games.
we still haven't picked a thing yet, so keep on sending them.
Yeah, keep sending them. I don't know who said the jersey idea, but I like that one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I don't want to do that.
I definitely don't want to wear it. Those Seahawks jerseys are so ugly. Or the Colts jerseys. If you made me wear a Colts jersey, it might be. I would be devastated.
Yeah,
it'd be the saddest podcast you ever watched.
Yeah.
But it'd be a great punishment.
I don't want to wear those ugly red Arizona ones.
Oh, God.
Those freaking Rams ones.
Devastating.
No, me too. Well, I don't. I couldn't do that. Can't. Oh God.
The fact that I might have to put a Wentz jersey in my closet is devastating to my heart. All right, so we're gonna get to this week's worth of games. So we're gonna start it out with the game of the week: Ravens Dolphins.
No, that's easy. That's an easy pick. Give me the Ravens. We all know Ravens.
I also agree. The Dolphins are an absolute dumpster fire.
Terrible.
They're god awful. I don't know. It's crazy because of last year they seemed to be trending in the right direction. Everything was looking great.
I mean, you got double-digit wins. So
Now they're an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Next one, my game of the week. And I feel like this is going to be a good one. Saints Titans.
Saints Titans. Yeah. Give me the Titans. Saints look terrible against the Falcons. Simeon, he's not good.
Well,
so.
they tried to make a comeback in the fourth quarter. Now they started trying to make a
we
run
have to
on
make
it.
a comeback against the Falcons. That says a lot about you. So
That's true.
Titans.
I agree with that. Although Matty Ice was looking pretty good in that game. You know where I'm going with this. It's always the Titans. I'll take the L to back my boys. Titans all day long. I feel like they can. I feel like they can put enough together on offense, and their defense. Nobody wants to see it right now. Their defense is out of control. So the next one, this might be more of a toss-up than we previously thought. Bills Jets.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Bills bouncing back and getting the win. Wouldn't be surprised if the Jets win.
Now, Mike White's coming back for the Jets. I
Does that
just
make
need
you
you
wanna-
to know
Does
that.
that make you want to pick the Jets?
Absolutely not. I'm going to stick with the Bills. I don't know why after watching them play last week.
Yeah.
However, I feel like they're going to be on a mission and they're probably going to destroy the Jets just to prove a point that they're still in this thing. Next one, Lions, Steelers.
Oh well, okay. I'm gonna say the Steelers, but the Lions. I feel like the Lions. That could be a team the Lions beat.
Man, look, I try to pick off of you sometimes, but I can't pick the Lions, bud.
Pick the Lions.
I feel like the Lions are going 0-17.
You think so?
They're terrible.
Yeah.
They've shown zero life. They're
They're not-
awful. Their closest game was the Ravens, and this is how unlucky they are. The Ravens kicked like a 64-yard field goal to beat them.
I mean, I would say this: the Lions aren't the worst winless team ever.
No, they're
They got
not.
some- they
But
got
I
some
just,
talent, but
I just don't think I don't think they have enough talent to beat anyone right now.
yeah,
They're not great, and Goff is awful. He's terrible.
golf is God.
Goff is not elite. He's terrible. So the next one, Jags Colts.
Well, that one's a little more interesting than before.
Yeah, it is. This is a toss up.
I'm gonna say the Colts just because of the defense. Say the Colts got a really good defense. I can see them troubling the Jaguars.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know if the Jags got enough on offense to beat that Colts defense. But I do feel like this will be a closer game than people probably
Thought last week.
think or thought. But man, I gotta go Colts too, man. Their defense is good. So the next one, Bucks, Washington football team.
Well, I mean the Bucks. I feel like this one shouldn't be a crazy week. A week of football. This should be pretty.
I feel like we should get back on track this week.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened last week. I don't know if there was I don't know if Venus was like aligned with some weird moon. I don't know what happened, but it got sideways last week. It got fully sideways. I'm like checking my phone, Gideon's texting me. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And the insanity continued all the way through till Monday. It was just roller coaster of insanity.
Side story: when all those things started having all the good teams started losing, I was like, Titans have a good shot at winning this game, and they went out there and won the game.
And just started dominating from the kickoff.
Yeah.
So next one, this one's interesting. I feel like this one's a toss up. Browns Patriots.
Oh my God.
That could be legit game of the week. That's a good game. Right?
That is a good game. Wow, that is a really good game. I'm gonna go Patriots.
Patriots, okay.
Like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go Patriots.
Okay.
I believe in Mac.
I'm gonna go Browns.
You believe in Baker.
I believe in Baker. Actually, I believe in their defense. I feel like their defense can do enough against that rookie quarterback who's kind of been plateauing. He's kind of plateauing a little bit. He was playing kind of ahead of his years, but it seems like it may be catching up to him a little bit.
Yeah. A lot of rookies go through that wall. So.
And that Browns pass rush is scary, especially for a rookie. I'm going Browns. So the next one, this one, also more interesting after last week. Falcons Cowboys.
You go first. I might need to think about that one for a little bit.
That's tough, man. You know what, man? You got to take chances, right?
So, what are you about to do?
Falcons.
I might get this lead back,
Hot
ladies and
take.
gentlemen. I might get this
Falcons.
lead back. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys because I thought about it a little bit. I think they play like that because Dak was just coming back off an injury. I can see Dak lighting that Falcons defense up. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, yeah, give me the Cowboys.
I'm going Falcons. I feel like they're on an upward trend.
I
feel like Matty Ice is getting it back. Took him a little bit. He had to get some Aspercream. He had to loosen it up. He's ready to go now. We're on the back half. Arthur Smith's got them Falcons playing, baby. Let's go, Falcons. So the next one, Panthers Cardinals.
Yeah, well, go ahead and give me the Cardinals.
Okay, yeah, me too. The Panthers are awful.
Yeah, I don't even think you need
And I don't even know who their backup quarterback is, but they're not good with their starter or their
Isn't
backup.
it that guy that used to play for the XFL? PJ Washington? I don't know.
No clue.
Don't think they're going to be good.
No clue.
Just say that right there.
Probably not a great quarterback,
Yeah, it doesn't
regardless of what's happening. So this one could be interesting. Vikings Chargers. Who you got?
Give me the Vikings.
Wow, you just keep picking them, and they just keep losing.
I think the Vikings, they compete with the Ravens, they compete with the Cowboys.
Yeah, they compete, and they always lose.
Yeah,
Chargers.
But the Chargers have looked so... Nah.
Bro, you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm being
Herbert
serious.
got AFC Player of the Week last week.
But I don't think he's going to do against the Vikings. I think you're going against a good D-line, a decent secondary. Captain Kirk, I believe in Captain Kirk. I believe in Justin Jefferson. I believe
I don't
Dalvin
know why.
Cook.
I don't know why. First off, look, Dalvin Cook's got some stuff going on. So be careful on that one. Okay.
He might be
I'm not talking about it because
Let's just stop that.
it's getting fully sideways.
Yeah, let's just stop that right there.
But things are happening that could affect his playing time. That's all I'm going to say about that, okay?
He may not be in this game.
Also, they blow leads like out of control. They literally cannot hold a lead to save their lives. They could be up by 32 points in the fourth quarter. Good chance they're going to lose.
That is true.
It's insane.
I think this is the time they snap out of it. Captain Kirk gets them boys playing. Kirk Cousins, MVP.
Herbert's going to destroy them. Vikings are trash. Just like I said last week and the week before that, and all the way to all the weeks before now, the Vikings are trash. Here's your game of the week, bud.
Let's go.
Seahawks, Packers.
I might take a little bit of time so just to say this. This is not the same Packers team. I think they're going to be a little rusty. I think they're not going to be as good as they usually are.
Is Aaron Rodgers even playing?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I still have hope that he's not playing.
I don't think he can.
So I'm gonna go. I'm always gonna go with my Seahawks. Say that. I'm always gonna go with my Seahawks. You gotta always pick your team. If you don't pick your team, what are you doing?
I agree.
Let's go Seahawks. Let's go Russell Wilson. Let's go Hawks.
Russ is back.
Yep. Chris Carson's gonna be back.
And Love is starting at quarterback.
Oh, I feel good about that.
You should. I also feel good about your chances. I'm going with the Seahawks as well. I can't pick Jordan Love, man. How do you lose to the Chiefs, who have the worst defense ever, and you only scored one touchdown?
I mean, Jordan Love didn't look bad, but he
didn't look good either.
He didn't look ready.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I still don't think he's ready. And I feel like Russ is back, and Russ is going to be cooking.
Yeah.
And
please, can't wait.
I don't think the Packers can generate enough offense to combat the Seahawks offense. That's how I feel about it. I just don't think. And I think Russ is coming back to prove something. So the next one, this could be, it's probably going to be a toilet bowl. Eagles, Broncos.
Oh, God. Yeah, Broncos, could they just beat the Cowboys?
Did you just pick against, picked against your boy Jalen Hurts?
I always go with Jalen Hurts. He still look good. Jalen Hurts doesn't look amazing.
Oh, my God.
I got to go with the Broncos.
He did it, man. He picked against Jalen Hurts.
It hurt. It hurt here, but I got to do it. I don't want to wear a jersey.
That's like a Christmas miracle. I don't know what just happened. Man, this one's tough. I don't know, man. Teddy, I don't know how much I believe in Teddy B. I don't know. And they just traded away their best player. Do the Broncos even care anymore? Which makes it even more amazing that they beat the Cowboys. Man, this was tough. I think I'm going to go Eagles. I'm going Eagles.
Wow.
Going Eagles.
This could be a big week.
We're going to try. We're going to see what happens. You know, we got to keep it interesting around here. We got to keep it lively. It's pepper and salt, man. You got to keep it spicy.
What we got to do.
All right. So here comes a good one. I feel like this could be the division right here. Chiefs Raiders.
Well, I'll say this: the Raiders have had the numbers. Have beat the Chiefs a lot. They've always had their number. I mean, this is the one team that, no matter how good the Chiefs have been, always seem to struggle with the Raiders. This is also a different Raiders team. You got a lot of missing pieces.
Seems to be self-destructing.
And I think the Packers with Jordan Love are better than the Raiders. So, did the Chiefs win that game?
Chiefs, huh? You know, I feel like the Chiefs suck.
There's no way you go Raiders.
Yeah, hot take. The Chiefs are terrible.
There's no way you go Raiders.
The Chiefs are terrible. And, I mean, have you seen Derek Carr's hair? We're going Raiders.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's go Raiders.
Wow.
The Chiefs are terrible. Until they prove me wrong, the Chiefs are terrible. How you only put 13 points on the Packers with a backup quarterback?
Yeah, that was bad.
Get out of here. They're terrible. So, this could be a redemption game. Rams 49ers.
Oh, yeah, the Rams are about to blow out the 49ers.
Think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I also think that. There's no way.
Yeah.
The 49ers are terrible.
Von Miller's coming. That's Von Miller's first game, I think, so.
I just can't, man. The 49ers are awful. I don't know what happened to them either, but they're like...
Never want to see another 49ers fan talk again.
Well, they're trash, so it won't be until at least next year because they pack it up, man. So that's our picks, man. Y'all keep throwing the recommendations in there for punishments, man. We're still looking over them. So far, I think the jersey's leading and the smoothies in there too, man.
God, not the smoothie.
We might do jersey and smoothie because that would be amazing.
Well,
Who's gonna do? We'll do smoothie while you're wearing the jersey.
oh gosh,
Devastation right there, man.
Is there a possibility we tie?
Then we both have to do it?
Oh god.
Okay, yes. On a tie, we both have to do it.
Yes, on a tie we both do it.
Devastating. That way y'all will always win. It doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to move on, man, from the NFL. That was a lot. But we're going to move on to college football because this was also a lot.
Yeah, also a crazy week.
What the heck? I'm not sure if anybody who's ranked wants to win.
Yeah, I mean, when all those teams are losing, that came into my head. What's going on? I mean, this is one of the most craziest college football seasons I've seen in a while. I mean, you have top-ranked teams losing left and right.
Dude, football in general has been out of control. Yeah. There's been so much good football, man. Like, if you're not watching it, I don't know why you're watching this podcast. Because literally, the football is insane. You got to be watching every second of it because anybody can lose and anybody can win at any given time. There's no, like, auto wins anymore. It's like everybody's contested every week. But, man, let's get to the first off. This Wake Forest North Carolina game. Okay, first off, when I saw it on the ticker, I thought it was a basketball score. It was like 55 to 47 or something. I was like, what am I even looking at?
I thought it was a basketball score when I saw North Carolina winning.
Against Wake Forest, right? It looked like a basketball game. And I'm like, what is going on? And Wake Forest, after all that talk about how they were undefeated and nobody's giving me respect, and then you roll in here to North Carolina and you lose?
Yeah, not a good look.
Bad look, man. If you're in these smaller divisions, man, you got to do everything you can to separate yourself.
Yeah, because you're not going to get that respect. I mean, you're not playing the best teams. If you're not SC, then you're not really getting the respect that you deserve, and you guys just went out and showed that you're not as good as your fans and people thought you were.
You basically show that you don't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. But this North Carolina, man, they this is what this team, I feel like this is what everybody expected this team to be all year, right? Because you had the quarterback who should have been a Heisman candidate, but for whatever reason, everything fell apart in North Carolina almost immediately. But they came out and put it on Wake Forest. And that game was just like back and forth the entire time and was a heck of a fun game to watch. It was just touchdown after touchdown. But just crazy, man. It's like every week, no one in the top 10 wants to win.
Yeah.
It just feels like it just doesn't happen. But that one was a barn burner, man. It was crazy. So we're going to move on to the next crazy game, which was Texas A&M and Auburn. So I watched this every minute of this game, and Texas A&M's defense was absolutely lights out, man. Like they were all over Auburn from the jump. They had Bo Nix looking fully confused. He was all over the place, and they were on him every other play. It felt like.
Well, I mean, you saw flashes in it of flashes of that Texas defense against Alabama. Then they go out and they play just as good against that Auburn team.
I'm telling you, man, if some of these top 4 teams don't start cracking off some losses, you better watch out for A&M. Because they're playing with basically a backup quarterback, too. He gets hurt in the game, like dislocates his shoulder. They take him in the tent, pop his shoulder back in, and dude's back in on the next series. Like that Calzada kid or whatever, he's a beast, man. He's got a busted knee, a busted shoulder. He's out there in full-blown hero mode, like playing out of his mind. It was crazy, man. That game was insane.
Crazy.
The atmosphere was crazy. Like, that A&M stadium was absolutely shaking, dude. And it was just like one of the most awesome scenes I've seen in a long time, especially, with the way football's been last year.
Yeah.
To see that atmosphere back again and everything, the cameras shaking, and it was awesome, man. It was a great game. And A&M is legit. And if they can get themselves somehow back up into this race, then you better watch out, dude. They're legit. So I'd say this was the most surprising for me. I didn't watch all this game, but I kind of kept coming back to it. Purdue, man. Are they like a top 10 killer? Because they are absolutely, every time they play a team in the top 5 or top 10, they beat Iowa, beat the brakes off Iowa. Then they come in and beat Michigan State, beat the brakes off Michigan State.
Michigan State should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. I mean, you go out and you compete against Michigan, you win that game, you have those bragging rights, you have an MVP, you mean not MVP, you have a Heisman candidate on your team, and you go out and just stink against Purdue. I mean, terrible. You played absolutely terrible. That was the most surprising upset for me.
Yeah,
I thought
too,
Michigan
man.
State was going to absolutely kill them, run the ball over them, and they didn't.
I did too, and I think that's probably one of those games where, like, I feel like it was probably just a hangover from the Michigan game, because you could tell just how bad they were getting beat and how bad every phase of the game looked for them. They were never really in the game. And it was sad, man, because you kind of see, I kind of was score watching, and I see the score come up a little bit, and you'd be like, okay, they're coming back. Purdue runs right down the field, scores, roll them again. I'm like, golly. So that one, man, that one was surprising. Because after Michigan State handled Michigan, I thought they were going to be able to stay in that top 4 and to go out there and just drop a egg like that, man. That was surprising and terrible. And I don't know if we got any Cincinnati fans out there, but y'all got to stop chirping because your team is not good enough to be in the top 4. You barely beat Tulsa? I think Tulsa's got like 2 wins.
Yeah, Cincinnati. Y'all are like, we deserve this. Y'all are not that great. Y'all just playing really bad teams.
Jump straight off that wagon because y'all don't.
Yeah.
Y'all are not great. Don't deserve to be in the playoff. And if you feel like you do, you might want to start beating the brakes off some teams in your own division because literally, like, your only wins against Notre Dame. Like, get out of here, man. Come on. No. And then Alabama, man.
Oof.
So I know your team, man, LSU,
We almost did it.
almost had them.
We almost did it. I love how Coach O is calling these games, calling it like it is his last run. I mean, he's
like,
running
I don't
fake
care.
punts,
Yep.
fake punt. I'm so discombobulated after that call. I can't even talk. He's running fake punts. It looks like a Madden. I mean, I'm proud of how we played. To be honest, I'm proud of how we played. I mean, but if I'm Alabama, I'm looking at like this is not an amazing LSU team,
No.
and it should be a team that you should crush. You didn't
Yes.
crush them. I would say Alabama has some concerns.
I would say Alabama should probably be worried. I mean, when I saw that score line, I was like, wow. And they got Auburn coming up. And at that point, Auburn's not going to have nothing to lose. So I think Alabama better be careful. Better be super careful. Because they're about to run into some tough games to end the season. And that Iron Bowl is always a beast going against Auburn. So, but yeah, that one surprised me too, man. I was like, man, I can't. You're right. Coach O, man, he's playing free and loose, dude.
Yeah.
He don't care. He's like, look, I'm out, boys. I don't care what y'all want to draw up. It's like they're just drawing it up in the backyard, man. Like, whatever, dude. Let's just run it. Everybody go deep on every play. We're going.
Yeah.
Fourth down, go for it. But yeah, that one was surprising. But I think, man, my most surprising game is Florida getting absolutely torched by South Carolina. And South Carolina's probably like the second worst team in the SEC behind Vandy.
It's time to move on coaching wise, in my opinion.
Yes, is Dan Mullen in trouble?
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, this is a team you should beat. It's just a team you should beat. And it's a team where Florida has enough talent to beat them. So what do you blame that loss on? You can't blame it really on the players.
I don't know. I mean, got their defensive coordinator fired immediately. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, what's going on? Because with the recruits you have there and the talent you have there, how the heck are you losing to South Carolina? And how do you still have a job? How is there any confidence in Dan Mullen right now? Like, I'm super surprised that people are not jumping off that ship so quick. Because, man, that is a sinking ship bad. Like, preseason, they had to have been ranked top 10, 15.
They were ranked. They were ranked well.
And now they're just terrible. Yeah. That one was surprising. And I feel like Dan Mullen better be super careful, and he better go pick up some wins at the end of the season if he wants to keep his job, from what I understand. But then Tennessee, man. Shootout. Absolutely one of the better games I've seen in a long time. Dude, Heupel's got these dudes playing. And these are a bunch of dudes that he didn't even recruit. He hadn't had time to recruit. He had like half his team transfer out in the portal. And he's got them playing, dude. He's got them playing for real.
I mean, it was a lot of heart from both teams, to be honest. I mean, they're going back and forth scoring. I mean, it was a very entertaining game.
It was a great game.
But, I mean, I think that shows Tennessee is trending upwards in terms of their team, their coaching staff. I mean, when's the last time you see Tennessee play like that?
Exactly.
So, I would say if I'm a Tennessee Vols fan, y'all look, I mean, it's a very bright future. Y'all just got to, you're going to have a full season recruiting after this season. So, I would say looks good to be a Vols fan for the first time in a while.
Oh, for sure. Hendon Hooker's like playing out of his
he's
mind.
really well.
Defense is playing. I mean, they gave up a lot of points, but defense is playing pretty good. And that offense, man, it's something, man. And that's what they knew that's what Heupel brought. I think that's why they hired him. Well, that and, I don't know who else they could have hired.
Yeah.
It just felt like nobody wanted that job after all the craziness that's gone on and the coaches that have just been in and out of there constantly, and then everything that happened with Pruitt and throwing people money in McDonald's bags. Who wanted that job? Like, it looked like a trap. Heupel's coming there and just, I mean, I'm not saying they're the best team, but when you talk about making something out of nothing, that right there is the very definition of making something out of nothing. But, and then Oklahoma, man. I know that
we talk about them a lot.
They didn't play, but I gotta know. So, is Oklahoma in because everybody else is terrible?
Yes. I don't think Oklahoma is that good either. I think they're just playing not as good teams. I think they're barely they're just like Cincinnati. They're scraping wins, barely. So I would say Oklahoma's in because teams just don't want to win.
Well, see, and I feel like Oklahoma may be on the outside looking in, and I'll tell you why. Because they don't play anybody. Like the Big 12 is not good.
Yeah.
And who else does Oklahoma play? Right? So I feel like even some of these one-loss teams got a better shot than Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think Alabama has a better shot than Oklahoma.
Yeah, anybody that plays in the Big 10 got a better shot, right? I feel like the Big 12 is so weak that I feel like it hurts Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Because there's no good teams. I mean, Texas is not really that good.
Yeah.
There's no good teams in the Big 12. It's literally like it's Oklahoma and Texas, and when Texas is bad, you're in trouble. I mean, Oklahoma State's out there too, I guess, but they started off hot and started losing too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be interesting when we get to the end of the season to see kind of where they sit because I don't feel like they're going to have a great resume. They barely beat Kansas, and Kansas had like a one win.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of interesting just to watch that and kind of see like how the committee ranks them because Oklahoma's a big school. They have great recruits. They have a great coach. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, is their conference going to hurt them enough to keep them out? Or because they're a big school and because they have all those pieces, is a committee going to say, okay, you're in? So that should be interesting, but just keep an eye on this, man, because I'm just waiting for them to lose.
Yeah.
But I want to see them be undefeated, kind of like Cincinnati. I want to see Cincinnati be undefeated. And to be honest with you, I want to see them do well because I want to see somebody that's not from one of these big conferences get in there. But I just don't know that anybody has the power to do it. Or is anybody brave enough to make a schedule to do it? Because if Cincinnati put a bunch of teams that were out of conference on their schedule, like Big Ten teams, but none of those teams are going to schedule you because they don't want to get beat by you.
Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck in your weak conference. You schedule like one good out of conference game, and then you hope for the best. It's kind of like Central Florida when they were undefeated.
Yeah. Exactly like that.
It's just like, what are you supposed to do?
I'll say it's different with Oklahoma because they've been in previous years, but I don't think they're the same team as they were.
Yeah, and I think the Big 12 was stronger in the past, but
no, yeah, for sure.
I think it's weak and it's self-destructing now. So, I mean, because, they're gone in 2 years anyway. So, 2 or 3 years, they're going to the SEC, Texas, and Oklahoma. So, then the SEC will be an absolute powerhouse.
Yeah.
Going to be insane. But let's move on. Let's get out of football, man. We're going to move on to the NBA. We got a couple of things that happened that got to be talked about. So, I guess the thing that everybody's talking about is the Jokic, Markieff Morris, whatever that was. So, if you haven't seen it, Jokic basically is dribbling up court, goes to make a pass. Morris basically hip checks him and fouls him. And Jokic, I don't know if he just temporarily went insane, but he has shoves Markieff Morris so hard in the back, he smashes him to the floor, and everybody's getting ready to fight each other. And it was just absolute insanity. And then in the confusion and chaos, while Morris is laying there acting like he died, which I don't think Jokic pushed him that hard, but yeah, it's okay. It's a wooden floor, I guess. Jimmy Butler's over here talking about he wants to fight Jokic in the middle of the court, and then afterwards, Twitter blows up, and Morris's brothers are talking about they're going to fight the Jokic brothers in the parking lot. It was insane, man.
Well, I'll say what Richard Jefferson said about the situation, which I agree with fully. Markieff Morris should have never did what he did to Jokic. I mean, don't do something that you don't want to be done back to you. Now, should Jokic have pushed him while he was not looking at him? I don't know if he should. He probably should have done that. But, I mean, I feel like it's probably on both. Should Jokic have done that? No. Should Markieff have done it? No. But it is entertaining.
Man, it was crazy. It was some of the best footage I've ever watched in my life. I didn't watch the game, but once I heard what happened, I had to go back and watch the footage, and it was absolutely. If you haven't seen it, man, go watch it because it's worth a watch. It was hilarious. It was hilarious just to watch Jimmy Butler yelling at Jokic across the court. Because then you got to ask yourself, if Jimmy Butler decides to go after Jokic, how bad does he get destroyed?
I think Jimmy Butler kind of handles him, to be honest.
You think
I
Jimmy
think
Butler?
Jimmy can handle him. You know, Jimmy.
Dude, Jokic is like, dude, that'd be like the Undertaker taking on like,
Rey Mysterio.
you know, it's like, right? Like, come on, dude. Can Jimmy Butler even reach up and punch him in his face?
I don't know. Well, they didn't get to that point, so
That's
whatever.
what I'm saying, man. It's just interesting. I'm just watching it, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I think Jokic could take Jimmy Butler. I think he would get destroyed. But it was hilarious watching them jaw at each other. It was like one of the most entertaining things I've watched in a long time. But moving past that insanity, dude, Stephen Curry, bro.
Yeah, Steph's playing good.
Drops 50. He's absolutely just dominating everyone.
Steph Curry deserves to be. If you make an MVP list, he deserves to be first place right now. Steph Curry is playing absolutely amazing. The Warriors are playing absolutely amazing. They have the best record in the NBA. They've only lost one game. They look amazing right now. I mean, this is a team. Draymond said it best: when the Warriors are least expected to win, they show up. So I said this is definitely a playoff team. I said this is definitely a team that can take on some of the other teams in that West. So Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors look like they're back on their dynasty track.
I feel the same way, man. I feel like they're healthy. They finally got all their pieces back, and dude, and they're playing just loose and free, dude. Like, and Curry is on at all times, no off nights. Dude is killing it, and for me right now, best player in the league. I mean, hands down, he's dominating everybody. And not doing it as a big man, not doing it. He's just out hustling and out shooting everybody. And it's fun to watch, man. That offense is fun to watch, and they're going to be trouble for everybody. If they can stay healthy, they're going to be trouble. But definitely, I'm with you. Front runner for MVP right now.
Yeah.
I mean, barring something crazy happening.
Yeah, I would say it's him and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's playing really good as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're gonna move on to the next topic. So, man, one of the craziest things I heard this week. So, the Celtics have been talked about as being a trade destination for Ben Simmons, and the person they're talking about trading is Jaylen Brown. So, first off, why the heck would the Celtics trade for Ben Simmons?
It's a terrible trade. Why would you trade one of your best players in Jaylen Brown, one of the best young players, for Ben Simmons, who is a great defensive player, but has so many problems? I mean, just so many. It's like a list of problems. It's a terrible trade for the Celtics.
That's what I like. Jaylen Brown's averaging like 27 points a game or something.
I could see that trade for maybe Damian Lillard, but Ben Simmons, absolutely not. They should not make that trade at all, unless they're getting so much in return.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, it made me wonder, like, this is out, but what are you getting back?
Yeah, it has to be something a lot. That's be a lot.
Especially because you already know what's going on with Ben Simmons, and that basically he's forcing the Sixers' hand. Like, why would you make that trade? Yeah. Why would you invite that chaos to your team? I don't understand it. And also, why would you give up that amount of scoring for it? Because, man, if you put Jaylen Brown on the Sixers, bro, the Sixers are already killing it without Ben Simmons.
Yeah, and Joel isn't playing either.
Dude, they're murdering people, man. And yeah, that's like without Simmons or Joel. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that's what I don't know. And if you're the Sixers, why would you not immediately make that trade?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's a crazy trade.
I couldn't make that trade fast enough. Please take him and please give me 27 points a game.
Yeah,
I'm on board. But I thought that was insane that rumor was coming out. It made me wonder. Like, I'm like you. I want to know what's in that package. What's in that deal? Like, how are you making that work? Because the NBA is not really huge on like picks for players. It's usually big player for big player. Yeah, or a big player for multiple mid-range players. Yeah. Whatever. So I thought that one was crazy, and I don't feel like that you're getting back your value for that. But I thought that was insane. That'll be interesting. The Sixers would be super interesting with Jaylen Brown. So, and then we got to talk about it, man. The Lakers. I know we seem to talk about them a lot, but is this Westbrook experiment a failure already?
I can't tell.
Like we're 10 games in?
He plays good some nights, and then he airballs the other night. I mean, I'll say Melo's playing better than
Melo
he
is playing out of his mind.
And I'll say this: LeBron is not playing much like usual. He doesn't play that much during the regular season, especially during the beginning. AD, we know what he is. I mean, he's going to be hurt a couple of games. Melo's playing really well.
Dude.
He's playing way better than I thought he would. He's playing absolutely amazing. He's scoring 20 a night. Russell Westbrook is playing like he usually does, but I feel like he's playing a little bit too much of me ball.
But that's his game. I don't know how. I don't understand how people are surprised by that. Like, that literally. Has that dude ever changed how he played?
I thought he was going to get more into his playmaking mode, but no, he's still aggressive, and he's going to take 30 shots a game, and he's going
to hit 10 of them.
I mean, yeah.
You're going to have those nights,
Some nights he has really good nights. Goes off for another triple-double. And then he goes off, he has, 7 points, 8 boards, and 3 assists. So, I think he has to get used to it a little bit more. I think he's going to start picking it up. I would hope he's going to start picking it up, especially when LeBron's on the floor. We'll see what happens.
Like, I want to see more of all of them together because I feel like maybe that's most of the problem, right? Like, you got this, awesome – did you, go and recruit all these guys to, have days off? Like, is that what we're doing? Like, we're just going to skate in – right now, they're not even in the playoffs. Like, they're sitting at 5-5. The Sacramento Kings have the same record as the Lakers.
They need to pick it up.
Come on, man. That's terrible. And it just goes to show you, I don't know, man. I feel like the regular season of the NBA, there needs to be some type of incentive to play because it feels like everybody's just playing every third game and they don't really care because they know they're going to make it in that top. The only people that care are the ones at the bottom on the bubble.
Yeah.
Everybody in that upper echelon, they don't really care. I mean, they're going to play when they want to play, and then hopefully we'll get in the playoffs, and when we do, we'll start actually all playing every night. So I don't know. I don't know how you, fix that. I don't know. Because it just seems like it's a problem, to where they've gotten to where they're just maybe I'll play, probably won't. I'll take 2 days off this week, and I'll play a little next week. And
maybe 82 games is too much. I
agree. Maybe if you shorten the season and make each game more valuable as opposed to a bunch of worthless games that nobody cares about. But me, if I'm a fan, man, and I roll up in there and I paid for tickets and LeBron's sitting.
I want to see LeBron and LeBron sitting.
80 sitting. Come on, man. I just feel like that's a bad look, dude.
Yeah.
If you're hurt, okay. But
if you're not, you should play.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man.
Unless it's towards the very, very end of the season and you are guaranteed to be in the playoffs and you want to rest, then because that's obvious that you're going to do that.
Right.
When it's the beginning of the season, you're already resting. It's interesting.
Come on, man. Well, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you're old too.
Yeah.
You need that extra.
Yeah, you gotta remember the age of this Lakers team.
You gotta remember the Lakers team. Yeah, they're all-star team from 2009. So I think we're gonna move on to Gideon's favorite topic. This one was just interesting. I dropped this on him right before we got on here. So we had an addition to the Jake Paul card. I don't know if anybody saw this, but Darren Williams, the former point guard, is going to be fighting Frank Gore as an undercard match on this Jake Paul fight.
What's going on?
What is
It's
happening?
one of those random fights. I don't know if you remember when that Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul card where Ocho Cinco boxed.
Yes.
That one makes more sense than this one. Because Frank Gore is just, I think
it's great. Let me throw this out here. I think it's great because it's two athletes boxing.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a boxer and an athlete. It's two former athletes, well, not former athletes, but two basically retired athletes boxing each other.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's awesome. I think you should go get some of these athletes that have these long-standing feuds with each other, right? That hate each other's guts and just throw them on undercards and let them fight each other.
That'd be great. Key to leaving Crabtree.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes. That would be amazing.
That would be great.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You know how many pay-per-views you'd sell? That'd be awesome, dude.
But also, you're getting a decent amount of NFL eyes. I mean, with Frank Gore and a lot of sports eyes on boxing. So once again, I would say this is decent for boxing, but
Yeah, you got your NBA fans and your NFL fans.
Yeah.
Which league's gonna win?
Yeah. Who do you think is gonna win?
Man, Frank Gore, dude, he's a timeless wonder. Frank
Frank
Gore's
Gore
gonna
should
knock. Frank Gore in 2 knockout.
Frank Gore in 2.
And then I bet he'll go play a game the next day. Somehow call him in off. I'm surprised we didn't call him.
I'm surprised I didn't call him either.
I mean, come on, dude. Frank Gore's like, he hit the fountain of youth, homie. He's running the ball for 20 years.
Yeah.
But that one was interesting, man.
Yeah, we had to throw that one out there.
Come on, man. Like, what the heck is happening with boxing, bro? It's crazy.
Crazy.
But man, I think that's all we got for this episode. Like I said, like, share, tell your friends.
Tell your mom and her mom.
Tell your mom and her mom. Tell everybody. But yeah, make sure y'all keep dropping the comments in there, man. And if you got anything you want us to talk about, let us know. And we'll catch y'all in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.